Hello. Guys, hi. I said in my stories that I was going to talk about some strategies I've been using at work the last few weeks. So I'm just going to let a few of you join, and then I will let you know. Hey, Christine. Let you know what's up. But hi Ilya. I'm currently in Bordeaux. And hi, I missed you too. Oh, you're in the S-Bahn, all right. Go girls, go. Started Valkyrie, and I think it's interesting because sometimes you look at your life and you just go, why am I experiencing that, or what is this about? And I was thinking about that if certain things hadn't happened in my life, I wouldn't be able to speak with any sort of authoritatively about certain things, because you haven't experienced them, and you can't really speak about something you haven't experienced. And prior to these last few years, I was never in the position I'm in now, and I'm having new experiences with stuff I never had to deal with before. So what I was just going to quickly talk about, since I haven't done a video in a while, and Norman and I haven't been able to do one together, part of the reason is because last time we sort of did this experiment with a split screen, somehow I wasn't able to save it, and I don't know if that's just because I screwed something up or because Instagram doesn't let you save it. That seems kind of weird, right? I don't know. Maybe somebody can tell me. But in any case, I wanted today to talk about strategies and this is a singery video. I think if anybody looked at my stories, you saw I got a message today from somebody who's actually a university professor and used our article on performance performance preparation. I've been in rehearsals. I'm like, pre and post preparation. And she used it to help her to defend her doctoral thesis. And I thought that was just absolutely amazing. I kind of was mind blown over that. So this is going to be mostly just for the singers, though, because I don't think this happens to other people. But I want to talk about strategies for when you are second cast or covering a role. And like I said, I've actually, up until this point in my career, I've never experienced that. I've always been fortunate to be either single cast or the first cast. So it's a totally different skill set. It's a totally different way to approach performing. And it's been challenging. It's been very good, but it's been challenging. Kind of think of a strategy to be effective and successful when you are called upon to do something like that. And for those of you who are going to catch this video, you probably will be called upon to do that at some point or another, depending how your career goes, depending on which opera houses you're employed in. I was thinking back, Norman, I don't think he's ever been second cast. He did cover at the Met. And I wasn't there. I was doing a different gig, so I don't know how the preparation was for him. But these are the things I just wanted you to know, so you're equipped for when you have to do this. So, and you could also use these techniques if you are doing a smaller part in an opera, but you would like to eventually sing the larger role, perhaps. So Christine says covering is what got her into the business. Yeah, sometimes it can really be a great possibility to jump in and really have a big success. Yeah. And it is crucial to be able to do this. And I don't know if this is something that people really focus on, because there's always so much emphasis and push to just go out and just be, a big success. And that's great. It's great to be ambitious, and that's fine. And I think we have to have an element of that. But if you don't find yourself in that position, and this is the way you're going to make your breakthrough, then you have to know how to deal with that. And somebody has to prepare you for that. And I don't really remember if anybody talked to me about that when I was doing my training. So anyway, these are just some of the things that I used. So when I was in Palermo doing Idomeneo, I was second cast to just a great colleague. You can't ask for a better first cast colleague than Eleonora. She was such a huge help and such a sweetie. And it was just great. So I already knew, when she arrived, that it would cut down on my chance for rehearsals. So when I arrived, immediately I thought, okay, I'm going to have to sing out all of these rehearsals. That's my first tip. Sing out. If you find yourself covering or doing second cast, particularly if you are second cast and you actually are going to do shows and you have rehearsals, sing out all of your staging rehearsals, even if it seems weird, even if you're in a small space, even if it's just with piano, whatever it is, because you need that muscle memory and you need to remember in your body and for the positioning on the stage and what the conductor looks like, just for yourself. This is all about preparation. So sing out. Don't mark, even if you're, okay, if you're sick or whatever, but just sing out. You need to know already that you are going to be having very few rehearsals, if any rehearsals. If you're going to be on stage performing, you'll probably get rehearsals, but you have to know that. And, if you're going to be in this position, you have to be really comfortable with being uncomfortable already. This is not designed for you to feel super prepared. It's just it's a super weird thing to do. So just say, okay, I'm going to be a bit uncomfortable, but it'll be fine. You aren't going to feel as prepared as when you have tons of rehearsal time and lots of chances to make mistakes and lots of chances to try different things out. And you're not shaping the role either. That's the thing that's problematic, is that especially for somebody like me who's very into all of that with the acting and expression, if you are having to jump into somebody else's vision of a role because a director and another singer are creating it, you really have to try. You don't have to completely shut down what you do, but you have to respect that also. So that's another factor to consider. If you're very different from the person that you are double cast with, that can be problematic. And challenging. So let me see. I've got notes. So this is about preparation. So when you're preparing and you have a bit of time. So right now I'm singing Die Walküre, I am singing Hemwege, I'm covering Sieglinde. And so how am I dealing with that? Because I'm not getting any rehearsals or musical rehearsals. So what I'm doing is I'm picking a section per day. I'm just reviewing it myself very calmly, just very easily, because I've already learned it in my private time in the year leading up to this. But now that I'm coming back to it and we're in the middle of this project, I'm taking section by section. I'm a big fan of breaking, it sounds a bit silly, but I break my roles into 7 sections, because then I just do 1 section per day. 1 section per day. And I can manage that. That's easy. And always, especially if you're doing complex German music, starting with the text, always, because you'll probably have the music in your ear, but if, a few articles or, certain things are going to just float out of your mind, and that'll create stress. Not because you can't make a mistake. We can always make mistakes, but you don't want to create stress for yourself because you messed up a word. Or I have to say, when I was doing Elettra, there was, for some reason, it was just like there was one part in the first aria that I always wanted to go, I think I always wanted to go up when I was supposed to go down. And that threw me off a couple of times. It really frustrated me. I was like, oh, why can't I just remember that? But, partly it was a preparation thing. Partly it's the sort of circular nature of that music. But anyway, the text is so important because it'll be like an anchor for you. And that muscle memory will really help you. And you can speak that. I walk around the streets here speaking the text like a crazy person, But it's comforting to me because I know, okay, that, I'll have that prepared. It'll be fine. Should something happen. Because you don't want to have a big panic moment if you do get that big chance to go on stage. Let me see. Oh yeah, this is another thing. You need to figure out what kind of learner you are. I learned this actually when I was in university, that I always thought, you should take a load of notes when you're taking in a lot of information. And I found my comprehension was lower that way. My comprehension works better when I just take in everything visually and orally. And hi, Daniel. And then go back and make notes. That's the kind of learner I am. I find this is the same for me when I'm doing staging. It is far better for me just to take in the full picture and then go home and review it, or a combination thereof. So find out what kind of learner you are to absorb the information most quickly. For anybody who just joined us, we are talking about strategies for when you are second cast or covering a role, because that's currently where I find myself and have found myself, and how you can absorb a large amount of information in a cohesive way so you feel prepared and well should you be called upon to do a larger duty. Now, yeah, preparation is everything. So we talked about the text. The music would more or less probably be in your ear, you know. Staging, it's tricky to know where the balance is, because some people that you're covering might not like it if you attend rehearsals, other ones don't care. That's really an individual case-by-case basis, and it is beneficial to be able to attend rehearsals because you need to also hear what tempi the conductor has gosh, I'm having German. I'm going vereinbart. Sorry, it's just like I've been speaking in French and thinking German texts, and now I'm speaking in English, and it's like all going in a swirl. But anyway, you want to see what tempi the singer and the conductor have agreed upon, because the thing is, the orchestra will be playing that tempo most likely, regardless of what you like. So you need to know you need all that information in advance so you can feel well. One of the things that I did do to feel well when I was doing Idomeneo is I set up a little mini stage at home and run through my arias like that. Of course, it's tiny, but it's more for your visualization. I'm really big on visualization, especially should you ever find yourself having large gaps in your career, and you're suddenly called upon to perform again or do important auditions. You need to be able to place yourself in that pressure-filled moment, standing on that stage, you know, seeing yourself being successful and excelling, because otherwise you won't be mentally prepared for that really tough moment when it comes. So set up your mini stage, practice the staging with everything. It sounds basic, but I don't know a lot of people who do it. Or maybe you guys have, and I'm just like catching up. But these things will help you feel completely well when you're called upon to do this. Few things you need to know that you might not get to run the show until it's time for you to do the show. And just so you know, that can happen when you're first cast too. That's happened to me in every scenario. That your first run through is either the dress rehearsal or in like extreme cases, the opening night. So you need to be fine with that and flexible and not freak out, because that is a real thing. When you're the second cast or covering, you might not get to work with the costume ahead of time. So again, you have to just be like, okay, this is where I am right now and it's fine. So yeah, and I just wrote, it's okay to feel like you're at a bit of a deficit, because you are. You haven't had the benefit of collaboration, you haven't had the benefit of working with all the other colleagues, you haven't had the benefit of rehearsal, and so you're just kind of being thrown in. And so, of course, you're going to feel a little bit unstable, and that's fine. But underlying, there has to be an ambition to succeed. Otherwise, all that pressure and all these little details can overwhelm. So you have to want it. You have to want to just push through all of it to have a great performance, because when a lot of small factors go off, it can really work on you psychologically under pressure, and so you have to really want it, and that I'm sure you do, so that's fine. What else do I have here? I've already mentioned this, but spending time with the text more than anything. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad that you're finding it helpful. This is always about your preparation. It's about your nerves. And in the end, it's just fun. It's just fun to sing. So whatever you can do in your preparation to make sure you go out and have a great time, that's what you need to do. So those are my tips for if you're ever in the position of being a second cast or covering a role. I hope it helps somebody. I will, of course, edit it and put this on the Living Opera website. Go there, www.livingopera.org, and find our other articles. We're working on several things. My article about patience has kind of morphed into more of just a story that I hope will encourage some people. I don't know why. as I was writing it, I was like, oh, this is kind of changing from what I thought it was. I wanted it to be much more methodical and like a point-by-point thing, but how you can develop patience in your life. But it ended up just being more about a story about how certain things have evolved for Norman and me. So yeah, I'm going to talk to him about that and see what he thinks is most beneficial. But I hope these tips helped you. Share with your friends. I will be putting this on YouTube, of course. And yeah, hope you guys have a great week.